Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. We've got a matchup today where the focus will be on the passing game. The Cowboys are #1 in pass defense, and they're going up against the Falcons offense that knows they'll be challenged. With that, let's get you out to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis. They've got the call of this Week 9 matchup.
All right, Larry, thank you very much. It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Atlanta Falcons and the Dallas Cowboys. Hello again, everyone. I'm Brandon Godden, joined as always by Charles Davis. And Charles, you take a look at this Cowboy team entering play. They can't be any better as we hit the halfway mark. A perfect 7-0 on the year.
And when we looked at this team in August and we looked at the schedule, we thought they had the potential to get off to a hot start. I don't think either of us expected 7-0.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Falcons, they were losers their last time out. They're going to try to get back in the win column, but obviously they're going to have to do that in a hostile environment.
And sometimes it actually works to your advantage. Now you've got to band together your team, the us against the world mentality. Let's see if they can use it and get a victory.
They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. So here come the Falcons now to get the football for the first time. They'll be led out by Dak Prescott, the 135th pick in the draft back in 2016 from Mississippi State.
Would you say that last week's performance by him, workmanlike in terms of numbers?
1 touchdown, 1 pick, but obviously a loss.
Yeah, that's the bottom line for him. All he cares about is how do we find a way to win the game. Maybe leans on a few other parts of the offense, and hopefully springs a receiver or two free.
Play fake. Here's Prescott. Blitz coming, and down he goes. The son Reddick in there to get him, and that's sack number 18 for him on the year. And the sack parade continues. Remember last week, they had an astounding 8 sacks, another one there on the opening drive.
And they have the mentality of just attacking the quarterback in the pocket, no matter what. They're one of those teams that says, we play the run on our way back to the quarterback, and that philosophy works for them very well.
So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down.
Yes, indeed. That play there, that reminds me of some of the guys that I played with to have that suddenness, able to get into the backfield almost about the time the ball snapped and make a play. How about that tackle for a loss?
Yeah, absolutely. He did a lot of that last week when he was named the NFC Defensive Player of the Week. One of the guys on the team would say, yeah, we called him the disruptor, and that's carrying forward again.
Makes sense, doesn't it? They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
They find some open field here. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. That's a good chunk of yardage that's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
Now a handoff looking right. And some room to roam now. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. The numbers for him from a week ago. Charles, how do you think he ran the football?
I thought he definitely had his moments. I did think that they could have utilized him a little bit better, and I'm definitely going to keep an eye on him to see how they're going to use him this week. You can script and diagram plays all you want, but no one really envisions something like that happening this early in the game. How about that run to get things started? Didn't he win NFC Player of the Week last week?
Yeah, he was on fire a week ago, and what a start to this one.
Yeah, no sign of him cooling down at all.
Officially, no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field, and when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
And for the Falcons, 5 men in the secondary, now on 3rd. Back to throw. Stone. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
And they'll send the tight end in motion here. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. So a loss of 5, and it'll be 2nd down. And the offense there, the O-line, everybody really on offense, they were just manhandled at the point of attack.
Yeah, you could pretty much call them all out, couldn't you? Almost by name, right? That was a very tough sequence for the offensive line. But how about that defensive front creating a new line of scrimmage and creating a lost yardage possibility?
And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Cowboys. A big play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Cowboys have taken the early lead. Great corner route there. Not only able to catch it, turn it upfield, and get into the end zone.
It usually involves a little bit of an extra move, doesn't it? You've got to get them thinking that you're moving to the middle of the field and you're breaking away to that corner. Boy, that was well executed.
So that drive spanned 5 plays, and it culminates in a Dallas touchdown. Bailey now to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So out come the Falcons now. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
The drive will start with a carry by Devontae Freeman. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. All right, let's look at the offense. Devontae Freeman, this is a guy that you wanted to talk about, so take it away.
Brandon, have you seen a running back play with such joy as well as such fury? I love the way he runs the football and attacks defenses.
A 2nd down throw for Prescott. Throw left side, complete to Shard. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. Partner, your thoughts on this D-line?
I love a unit that can control the run and get after the passer. This is an all-around terrific defensive front. Hard to move the ball against them on the ground, and then when you want to throw it, look out. Here they come after the quarterback.
On 3rd down, Devontae Freeman. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down.
Brandon, from the defense's perspective, that's a tone setter. They try to hit him with a draw early, and they snuff it right out.
The Falcons send out their punter. On for his second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. This is taken at the 18. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference.
They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean, or else they'll just sit back, dare you to throw it on everything. And they're 6 yards away from picking up the first here on 2nd down. And now here's a carry heading left. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
Off-play action. Stone eluding the pressure right. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. And on 2nd and 10 now.
Let's go. What? 90. Flex round. Flex round. Flex round.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Let's go. Here we go.
On 1st and 10, Stone. Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Good positioning, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
Following the interception, here's Prescott. And now Prescott is going to be taken down. He couldn't get away, and that's a safety. So troubles here offensively. I tell you, the noise in this dome, that has got to make it harder for these guys to hear.
Sometimes I find myself shouting up here. But you're right. If you can't communicate well or get off the snap count properly, it can cause big problems, and this qualifies as a big problem.
This is taken at about the 14. Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. He's got the lead here in the second quarter. He's thrown the touchdown, but also an interception. As a quarterback, does that interception, even though you're playing well, your team's got the lead, does that always stick in the back of your mind a little bit?
For the best ones, it just upsets them that they did that because they don't think there should be any blemishes on their record. They think that they're way better than that. So your confidence gets tested.
There he goes, left side. Touchdown, Cowboys. A great play there with another touchdown, number 24 on the year. And the Cowboys will add on to their lead. They blitz blitz defensively there, but he was able to slip through that first layer, and then he was gone.
I think they won the leverage game, didn't they?
Yes.
Right? They saw the blitz coming. That got to him a little bit, but they leveraged it perfectly and found not just a crease, a gigantic hole. And off he goes, and he's still going all the way to the end zone.
Bailey now to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Freeman again. And I think we've got a hold here. It's a 5-yard pickup for the moment. Let's see what our referee says.
Holding offense.
That one whistled against a big right tackle.
You'd think being able to fire out and block it'd be a lot easier to not commit a holding penalty, but it's tough to keep those guys right in front, isn't it?
Prescott now on 2nd down. That's complete to Taywan Taylor. And he's able to get up here to the 26. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Hassan Reddick in there for the sack, and he's closing in on that all-time record. That's number 19 on the year.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. The Falcons send out their punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. That's pulled in at the 32. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. I'm sure he wanted to have a huge game, wants to have a huge game as the quarterback, but really on the ground, they've been very, very hard to stop. Maybe you just keep going to that well.
I think so, and isn't it funny how the definition of balance changes for us from game to game? Sometimes it's what, 50-50?
There he goes, right side. Touchdown, Cowboys. A great effort there. His 25th touchdown. Tying Emmitt Smith for the 5th most in one season. And the Cowboys will extend their lead. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. I can get some more. And he'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
So they hit pay dirt on just one play. The long run, the scamper, and a very nice scamper into the end zone for the touchdown. Bailey now to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
They'll run with Freeman here to begin the drive. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
When you're putting together a formula for winning defense, it's exactly what we're seeing in this game. Controlling the line of scrimmage, attacking, and changing everything so that now they're playing in the offense's backfield. They're playing an excellent game.
On second down, Freeman. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask.
Foul. Face mask. Defense.
So they will accept the penalty and move forward.
Automatic first down.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. After the penalty, here's Freeman. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. It's a gain of a yard, and it takes us to the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. We're back to Arlington right after this timeout. We remind you that coming up at halftime, Larry Ridley will have the highlights and analysis of this first half from our studios in Orlando.
And I have a feeling those highlights will be...
And the Cowboys' pressure gets there this time for the sack. And keep your eye on that man. 4 sacks last week, 1 there here in the second quarter. He can be so disruptive.
So what was he doing in the first quarter? What was going on?
Took a nap.
I think he tried to lull him to sleep a little bit. Like, yeah, okay, maybe you've got me this week. Nope.
And with a flag down, he goes down. So they're able to sack him. Now the penalty looks like it could be holding. Let's find out.
Offense.
So instead of giving them another third down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. This is taken at the 15. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Cowboys offense heading back out and ready to go again. And coming off a 1-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that length, that's just not being prepared. So now, are they determined? Are they ready to read their keys and make the proper plays?
And we'll see how determined they are.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
So that one will be accepted.
Automatic first down.
And now inside the red zone, the offense will operate. And they'll bring the big tight end across the formation left. Now they'll run it on the toss. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
But that certainly felt like an example of the defense just saying, okay, we've had enough. We've gotten mashed all night long. About time we got a good play in. But flip it over to the offensive side. They've got to be really upset that they allowed a play like that to happen. They were pitching such a great game, they want to keep it going.
And to give this time to the tailback. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll make it 3rd and 1.
Look, the first down marker is out there, but sometimes it's hard to find for an offense when they're in a long yardage situation, which usually means throw the football. In this case, they went against the tendency and ran it, and boy, the reward was there. A big, big pickup. And guess what? It's now third and very short in order to try and pick up a first down.
Just a yard, but that's all they needed, and by the slimmest of margins, it'll be first and goal.
Okay, no score on that play, but this guy's been a touchdown machine all year long. You know they trust him with the football.
And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. Not time enough for a play and then a timeout, you wouldn't think. So with 4 seconds left, they're going for it.
Flex round! Flex round! Flex round! Ohio! Ohio! Ohio!
Now a handoff as they run left side. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Cowboys. A great play there in the final seconds of the first half. And the Cowboys continue to pour it on.
And that's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it, that can totally change the complexion of half number 2.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook. But even before that, let's see if they decide to kind of squib kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff, because you don't want to give up a big play right before the half ends.
Good point. Bailey now to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number 1. So we have come to halftime here in Dallas with the Cowboys out in front as we send you on over to Orlando, where we'll check in with Larry Ridley. He's got our EA Sports halftime report. Larry?
Okay, Brandon, thanks, and welcome everyone to our EA Sports halftime report. Let's get to the highlights. The Cowboys are showing they're the better team right now and lead big at the end of 2. The Falcons will have to make some adjustments before the second half gets underway. So here we go. Let's take a look at some of the highlights from the first half. Cowboys with possession halfway through 1. Completion will be made here to a wide open man. And this 4-play drive goes for a touchdown. So they take a 7-0 lead. Now 1st and 10. He'll take it out to the left side, and he's gone as he sprints to the end zone. That pushes the lead to 16. 1st and 10. He'll break free of the pack. He gone as he sprints into the end zone.
And just like that, on we head to half number 2. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. This fielded at the 2. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Out come the Cowboys now as he'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively.
Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game, but what a nice play by the defense. Stepping up on that one, maybe they'll get things going in their direction after a play like that.
Looking to throw on second down. Stone. He's got a man. That's caught. Left sideline. And he'll be out of bounds up past the 45. A good pickup there of 20 yards. Okay, so now the question, how did he get that wide open?
Well, we both know that he shouldn't, because from the time they handed out scouting reports before this game, he was circled, starred, everything. Find him, cover him. But sometimes you can scheme a guy open. You put the receivers in a bunch. Maybe you move some motion. Maybe you put them on the backside of a formation, and all of a sudden you've got a better matchup. Every now and then, the offensive guys, they figure a way to get him open, even with everyone keeping eyes on him.
And that's certainly a guy they want to keep trying to scheme open. Now it's 2nd and 7. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Looking left side, he's got it. Complete. And he's brought down. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
So how do you beat man coverage? First of all, you want to be a superior receiver, but you know something, that guy who's covering you, he's usually pretty good too. So the corner route is usually a great spot to get it done.
Time running out here on the play clock. Now they'll run it on the toss. And a short gain down to about the 33. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
And they still need 8 yards for the first here on 2nd down.
Ohio! Flex round!
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's going to take this one down to the 25. Give him 8 yards there. Still a few inches to go, though, as it'll be 3rd down at about the length of the football.
You know how we get focused at end of the half and into the game situations about how much time's on the board and, you know, what you need to do? Sometimes you don't even have to worry about that. That's just smart football. You know, that kind of a lead, staying in bounds, it burns clock, even in a situation that we're not really focused on it.
On 3rd down, it's Alexander. And he's going to have a first down here as he gets this one to the 17-yard line. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense is going to get tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. A great effort there with touchdown number 27. That ties Priest Holmes for the 3rd most in a single year. And the Cowboys add on. And that rushing touchdown, his 4th, puts him just 1 shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it, but he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So we get set to start this 3rd quarter. Here's the Falcons offense now. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. Prescott looks to throw on first. And he's going to be out of bounds up around the 45-yard line. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and of course, foot dragging.
Little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And he'll be brought down at the 50 after a gain of about 5.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
Charles, I know it's hard when live bullets are flying, but you cannot keep your hand up around the face mask area.
It is absolutely inexcusable nowadays. We talk about target areas all the time. You have to aim lower so that your hand doesn't get involved in the face mask.
Here's Prescott under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
And the dreaded face mask penalty, that's going to cost him 15 yards.
And it's such a dangerous play. Body going one way, and then your head gets yanked back the other. 15 yards is the right call.
First down, Prescott. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. Throwing again, Prescott on 2nd and 10. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Taylor. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you're wanting to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Brooks. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that.
Oh, Prescott stripped, and the Cowboys have recovered.
I know it's a phrase that sounds really cool, strip sack, but all we're talking about is getting to the guy, getting to the passer, making the tackle, making the play, but do a little bit extra, right? Stripping the ball out, working the arm free. That's become a big emphasis for all defenders.
Yeah, and as a defender with the emphasis, this is something that's practiced.
Practiced all the time. Taking the ball away, creating turnovers, that's really job one for any defense because that's how you win in today's NFL.
And now here's a carry heading left. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up a 2nd and just about a few inches here.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10.
Watch two. Single receiver. Let's go. Flex round.
Looking to throw. Stone. He sets to fire. It's caught inside the 25. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. A big play there with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Cowboys continue to pour it on. So another score there, and often you talk about the three phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a fourth phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the fourth quarter. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And they'll be looking to atone for last time's mistake of fumbling inside the red zone. Certainly they don't want to do that again.
And so much emphasis placed on red zone offense. I mean, you have periods devoted in practice just for that because everyone knows how vital it is to put points on the board when you've entered that part of the field. And to come away with nothing, that's difficult for a team to handle.
And difficult, and now we'll see if they can make it less difficult on themselves on this drive. Face mask penalty, and Charles, you were a defender. You know sometimes in the heat of the moment, it's hard to keep your hands away from that face mask.
Sometimes you just get out of position as a defender when you're trying to make a tackle, so you end up flailing away, and your hand gets into the wrong spot.
And he'll get this down only to about the 46. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. So 2nd and 9, the defense looking to put them in a bad spot here. Here's Prescott. Over the middle, Sharp's got it complete. And, oh, he is really laid out that time. Knocked flat on his back.
Well, he made that catch knowing full well that at the end of it, he's going to catch a pretty good lick.
I guess if there's anyone on this team that can absorb a pop, it's him. Off the play fake, Prescott. Oh, Prescott stripped. The Falcons send out their punter. He's been terrific so far. On 4th down, Cohen. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. So out come the Cowboys now as their offense gets set to take over. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row. There were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. And my friend, I think it's safe to say that this game is pretty much deceased at this point. It's taken a knee, so to speak.
It is definitely this victory formation. Take the snap, take the knee, call it a night, call it a game, call it whatever. I agree with you totally. I don't think there's much left to get except for those who want to run up the score.
I knew this was over about a minute ago when you took your stat sheet and just flipped it over your shoulder in the trash can.
Yeah, that's similar to the guys cutting tape off right before the game's over. We know this thing's done.
The long touchdown pass gets them 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And here now come the Falcons. Prescott on 1st down. That's complete to Sharp. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Seeing that play and understand just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice gain right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
Holding offense.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. Only people celebrating? The guys who just gave up that play.
Second down, Prescott. And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. Hassan Reddick in there for sack number 22 on the year. Just a half sack shy now of Michael Strahan's record of 22 and a half set in 2001. Third and long for Prescott. To the right side, complete to Taylor. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. It'll be a pickup of 13, but it'll still lead to a fourth down.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
Time for a break. This one, all over but the shouting. We'll finish it after this. The Falcons send out their punter as he'll come on for his fifth kick of the night. And this will be taken at the 13. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Cowboys will be backed up to start the drive. They'll have it 1st and 10. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. They have the big lead here late. They protected their home turf well, didn't they?
They certainly did, partner. And just think about how good that feels, because every team has a goal when they start the year to win at home. All right, and sometimes you don't win all of them, but they managed to get that done today. Just think about your routine stays the same. Everything's familiar. You feel right going into the game, and they translated that into a win.
They did indeed. They protected the home field, and now the final stages.
Let's go. Flex round. Ohio. Ohio. Flex round. Flex round. Check.
Now a handoff as they run left side. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Finally, defensively, they have a little clip to show positive for actually stopping him running the football.
It's been a really long night for them, hasn't it? So they got a little bit of a win there, but let's face it, the vision that he's had running the football has carried his feet to the open spaces and to big yardage all night long.
To throw on third down. Stone. He's going to look deep down and got his man complete. And all the way down to the 40-yard line. It's a big play there on third down. 49 yards.
And they just hit another big completion there. And I think in days gone by in the NFL, you might have asked, is this a little bit of overkill? Is this rubbing it in? I don't think people feel the same way nowadays.
It's the age-old argument. And you could say on the other side, if you're going to get angry about it, and this is caught inside the 5. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown.
You have fun with this one, partner?
I am. He's been fun to watch under center.
We always talk about, getting to the next level, right? When we see people get into the zone. This guy's in the master class right now. What a performance he's putting on, just carving them up.
4 touchdown passes. Carving him up is right. Seems like everything he throws is going to be a completion and going in the end zone. A drive there of just 4 plays. And it's capped off with a Cowboys touchdown. Bailey now to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Falcons offense gets ready to head back onto the field. They are down big. They have not scored a single point I don't know, are they so defeated at this point you just want to get in the locker room, get the heck out of here?
That is one way to approach it. Sometimes coaches say, that's it, okay? It hasn't worked all game. There's no sense in doing something now. Let's get out of here. No one get
thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the Michigan man, Jabril Peppers. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Cowboy defense has a touchdown. Now remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but the ball's in the air. They treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
Bailey now for the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here are the Falcons as their offense heads back onto the field. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Use that as and the Cowboys pressure gets there this time for the sack. He's looking for another 4-sack game. That's how many he had last week. That's his third.
And when I watch him rush the passer, the thing that always comes to mind for me is how well he uses his hands. The martial arts stuff that a lot of guys do in the offseason to work on those, paying dividends for him. He's getting home in a big way.
And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. So, Charles, are able to complete what so often seems to be elusive, a shutout in the NFL. And maybe what's fitting is they ended the game on the field, that defensive unit on the field. What an exclamation mark.
And probably felt like they could go another 60 minutes without anyone putting points on the board against them. That's the confidence you gain throughout when you're pitching a shutout. And they're going to leave the stadium feeling like they're all 10 feet tall.
So for Dallas, they continue to cruise through this first half of the schedule as they move to 8-0 now on the campaign. And they'll get another home date next week as the Browns will come to town. Meanwhile, for Atlanta, things are kind of getting ugly as they drop to 1-7 now on the year. And they'll be back home next week as they're set to take on the Carolina Panthers. So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. It's a win for the Cowboys as we sign off and say so long from Arlington.